So today's conspiracy is called the Franklin Conspiracy. It's about the Franklin expedition, which was one of the craziest mysteries in all of Canadian history. Mm-hmm. So in 1845, a British Royal Navy sent two ships out, the Erebus and the Terror. Both have cool names. Into the unexplored Arctic to seek a passage to China. Already kind of a bad idea. They were the most advanced vessels at the time. State-of-the-art scientific equipment, but remember, this is 1845, so that was probably like the wheel.
They had a telescope and a men and women's bathroom.
You saw that shit? I can steer now. We used to just crash into stuff. Imagine that was just like boats were just like, I think it's that way, and you just went straight. But obviously, you know, the ships were never seen again. On board, there was 129 sailors and scientists, and it was led by the legendary explorer Sir John Franklin. So that's why it's called the Franklin Conspiracy. So nobody really knows what happened, but there's a bunch of interesting theories. Basically, they said that someone claimed to see the body of a giant, like a giant. Remember, this is unexplored Arctic territory. Mm-hmm. So there are reports that people saw a giant with long teeth, and some of them were on board one of the ships before it sank. There was another that said that the explorers died of a sickness that they couldn't identify. It was like a mystery sickness. The condition of the bodies suggested evidence of cannibalism. Yet the explorers still had food when they died, which is hilarious. You still got like hella food, and you're like, I want to taste that, nigga.
I want a piece of ass. Well, we'll be back home soon. Nah. I want some ass now.
So it's like, you know, they had like weird cuts on their bodies. So if the cut marks and the dismembered bodies weren't the result of cannibalism, what were they? Some of the bodies were frozen and perfectly preserved. Mm-hmm. It was found to have already been autopsied. So the organs had been replaced. And some of the ribcage had been put back in upside down. Just weird ass shit.
Oh, that's an alien.
That weird ass shit, right?
That's an alien right there. I've seen that before.
You really? I can't get past that. What is that?
This one time at band camp. Yeah, I seen that before. That's an alien for sure.
Sound like weird dirty talk. Like, girl, I'm gonna flip your ribcage.
Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't sign up for this. Whoa. Slow down, Thaddeus.
Wait. It's a very thin line in dirty talk when it just becomes overly violent. Like,
oh my God.
I'm gonna push your organs up into your neck.
Hey, hold on now. I need those organs.
I wanted a good time. Yeah, apparently they're saying that there were giant Arctic aliens walking around and that can control the radiation. So they had like superpowers. You never really think about the superpowers that aliens have. You just be thinking they're walking around probing people. But it says that there's giant super beings that had control over radiation and could levitate whole ships.
That's scary.
Yeah, but that also goes very close to the ancient Egyptians who said that there were giant aliens who could levitate these blocks and help build the pyramids. But a lot of people don't understand how these pyramids were built based on the tools that they had. Even though ancient Egyptians had hella tools. They were smart.
Yeah, but that's still one of the marvels of the universe. Like, how did they... I mean, these pyramids are huge.
And some of them have blocks that they're just like, how did
y'all move this?
How'd you carve it? How'd you stack them?
How did y'all build them? Like, if they were... like built like in the oven and stuff like that, how they make bricks, like how did they make them this big?
Oh yeah, right. How they actually make that brick. Yeah. But there have been like hieroglyphs and paintings of something levitating these blocks. And it's crazy how we're so disconnected from wanting to believe in stuff like that. We could see a picture of it and be like, nah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's probably a metaphor. But it's really, I really like it. I remember the very first conspiracy we ever did on Internet is Undefeated was the one of the Dyatlov Pass, and that was another expedition where all the settlers they were going through like some area that was really high in radiation, and they camped out, and it was like below zero, and something so terrifying happened that night that they all tore open their tents and ran out, and they were found with like broken. They were found older. They had like white hair. They were found orange from the radiation. Some of them had internal damages that could only be explained by like a car crash. Like something fucked them up, and they all ran. Some of them were found about a mile away from the tent, completely in their drawers. So like, what happened that made these people so terrified? They tore open their tents from the inside and ran out in below 0-degree weather in just their drawers. And they were found with gray hair, some of them. It's pretty intense. I think some of them was missing a tongue. They were found in all different situations, like just stuff like that. I'm really, really interested in like these explorations gone wrong, because you got to think back then there was probably a lot of wild shit.
Only thing I can think of is if somebody farted who was lactose intolerant.
They was like, get me the fuck out of here.
They just traveled tent by tent and that would be the only thing.
And then there was the one person who was like, I still taste it. Cut their tongue out.
No.
I tasted it on my tongue.
You breathe it in, you get old, it just takes your soul away. Jeez Louise. That's creepy, man.
Yeah, man.
But I'm into the alien shit. I definitely believe they're aliens, man.
Alien
I definitely believe the alien shit. And it's funny, you say that, it's like, we will pay all day to watch another alien movie, but won't entertain of them possibly being real.
Oh, they're real. They are real. I could send you a video. The main thing that I send around when people talk about aliens, the Canadian Prime Minister, I believe it was a Prime Minister, went on like a CNN type of like official news thing on video and confirmed it. It's been confirmed. He said that we've been working with not only aliens, several species of aliens. That's when it gets creepy. You think that somebody's just going to be like, yes, aliens are real. But when it gets like specific, he named a couple of species. And he said, we have been trading Earth resources for alien technology. So in my mind, I'm like, that's where the iPhone came from. Yeah. That's where this came from. That's where that came from. And
I feel like they gave us the lowest version of their aircraft, and that's how we got the jet engine. Because for the life of me, I still don't understand jet propulsion. Like,
you think even that? I feel like that we could do that.
Nah, I can see propellers. But the jet engine?
I want to say that the technology that they gave us, we haven't seen like that. Like you said, maybe they gave us like the lowest version.
They couldn't give us nothing that would wipe them out. So they were like, man, here's this iPhone. What is this? You call each other on it. Like, what do you use? We talk to our minds.
Probably. Maybe. Yeah. And they also explains what we were talking about earlier about the world ending. Because who knows? They could have just been giving out resources, and then we're just like, what's happening? And they're like, yeah, what's happening? Whoa, what? All these things
are getting hot. What? That's crazy. Y'all should probably leave.
That alien heat. But this dude said this on camera, and he also said that there's one race is still here. They're walking around our naval bases and our military bases, and they're called the tall whites or the tall grays or something, and they look like tall, pale white people. They have blue eyes, and they just have sort of like faded skin. So I would definitely recommend you guys checking this out. Just type in Canadian Prime Minister, or it might be the Minister of Defense, confirming aliens, and it should.
I'm gonna look it up.
It looks like a CNN type. It's super official, and he's just like, yes, the white man in me confirms. The aliens are here. Not only aliens, multiple aliens, and some of them niggas are still here. So the heebie-jeebies.
I like
the heebie-jeebies.
So now is the conspiracy corner. Cue the eerie music. Hey, something's going on in Antarctica, and it is scary. There are frozen aliens, and we think that the Nazis are there. So that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I just wanted to.
It's the remix.
All right, so today's conspiracy sent me on a black hole in the internet.
I saw something. I didn't read it, but I saw this.
Yes, he didn't read it.
I didn't
so
read
there was a thread posted by Nick Hinton on Twitter that's basically all about Antarctica. So when I first started reading this, I was just like, oh, okay, that could be true. But then the more you go into it, the creepier Antarctica kind of seems as a place. So it starts off by saying that Antarctica is one of the few places left on Earth that is still virtually untouched by humans. There's no native population. But for some reason, there's 16 restricted areas in Antarctica, and they're all enforced by the Antarctic Treaty. And this includes 12 countries, which is weird. We can't really agree on anything, but we can agree on that nobody's allowed in certain parts of Antarctica. So the Nazis, who were also known for their outlandish and otherworldly beliefs, they also had an interest in the supposed barren continent. So they basically explored the region. People don't know that they even went that far down. And they claimed a large plot of land there that they call New Swabia. And it was named after a place in Germany. So the Nazis actually were a part of this whole Antarctica thing. It gets a little weirder, though.
All right, I'm interested in this.
So basically, there was an invasion of Antarctica for some reason
But I thought
after
there was
World War
nobody
II.
there.
Exactly, which is super weird. After World War II, there was a 4,000 soldier military troop that from Britain and Australia that invaded Antarctica, and it was known as Operation Highjump. And it, for some reason, resulted in several casualties and a missing ship, the USS Pine Island, right? So theorists say this was because of a battle with a fleet of UFOs. While this is obviously unconfirmed, it's weird that after the failed mission, the Admiral, Byrd, declared that it was imperative that we take immediate defense measures against this hostile region. So there's actually been like missions there that are just like, wait,
Why would they send a mission for something that there's no...
or what happened? You know what I mean? So, and then during this time, that same admiral who was trying to get defense to Antarctica was not allowed to hold any more conferences, and he died shortly after. In his private journal, there was an entrance. He said that there was an entrance to another world in Antarctica, and he was ordered to remain silent for the rest of his life. So
By
basically-
who?
The government.
By the people that killed him a couple days later.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey man, you shut up for the rest of your life. You know what?
But wait, there's a portal to a whole new world?
I mean, they basically say that. Yeah. Disney joke?
I was,
No, go ahead.
I was
No, you-
I felt it coming. I was like, this is not going to
Your mouth is banned there too. Don't worry. You're like, you ever figure this out? Don't be coming over here eating all our alien food either.
So there was a bunch of things, like the Nazis were obsessed with saying that there was a superhuman Aryan race, and it was basically something that existed beyond the poles in literature. So they're saying that maybe they found what they were looking for. They're starting to find pyramids in Antarctica too.
And there's pyramids on the dollar bill.
Well, the pyramids have always been linked to some type of alien thing because for some reason, natives like in Mexico and Egypt and different places that had no contact with each other were all making pyramids that lined up perfectly with constellations. So the fact that there was a pyramid in Antarctica
That's crazy.
kind of says that there's probably an ancient civilization
That's
over there.
crazy.
And yeah, they even said that they had some strange guests recently, like John Kerry went over there. Some famous Russian religious leaders went over there. Buzz Aldrin went over there too. And what's crazy is that Buzz ended in, you know, Buzz Aldrin, the guy from the moon, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. He ended up cutting his short trip and was medically evacuated. And he tweeted this, which he deleted. And it says, it basically said, it had a picture of one of the pyramids. And it says, "We are all in danger. It is evil itself."
When did he tweet that?
That was a tweet and delete?
That was a tweet and delete.
When?
I don't know. Right after he went.
They usually have the dates on them.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
You had no information for when it was, though. 1974, huh? But yeah, there's if you keep going down this, it gets really, really creepy. Like there's basically like horror writers who had obsessions with Antarctica and were always saying that there was a sunken city at these specific coordinates. And then for some reason, there was a famous bloop sound in 1997 that was recorded at almost the exact same coordinates. And it was a living creature, but they basically crossed out any animal on Earth.
What's
that
a
it could have
bloop
been.
sound?
So basically, like there's certain like have you ever heard of like those sounds that they hear like deep in the ocean or like way out in space and they don't know what it is? That's basically like the scientists are looking out for some type of living organism if they can't go there,
Got
and
it.
they'll get the
So like
sounds.
sonar type stuff?
Yeah,
So it
something
made it
like
sound
that.
so loud that they heard it, but they couldn't identify what it was.
I don't know if it was because of how loud it was or just because of how
registered.
mysterious it was. And then he goes on to say that there's like a huge obsession with Antarctica with like Alien and Predator, like all these movies center their stuff around their particularly.
Why haven't we gone there and like built roads and freeways?
Well, that's the thing. That's basically what most of this is about. Is like it's inhabitable, but for some reason, some super government that's all like talking to each other all agreed that all of this stuff no one can go to.
When we had the flat Earth guy on Aska, he talked about Antarctica a lot.
Really?
Yeah. He
What'd he
was
say?
like, so he was saying that the super government thing that you're talking about, I forget what he's talking something about like the sun worshippers, because this like predates modern society, like back to when the Aztecs and stuff. So he was saying that all of them, like Antarctica is the key to the edge of the world.
Right. So
he was like, if like you were saying, you can't go there. Like you have to get permission from a government, the nearest government, to even try to venture out there. And he was saying that there's ships, like super government has like kind of like rogue pirate ships that'll like shoot at you if you try to go out there and explore.
That was my next question. Like, who's there to prevent you from going?
He was like saying that there's each nation has a government, United States government, Mexico, whatever. But he's like, this government sits above them on some like you watch John Wick. So you know, like the high table, how they're like the supersede regular crime.
That's what the super government is?
That's what he said the super government is. And they're like, look, y'all he said there's like ice monsters there and like all type of stuff. Like
ice monsters?
Ice monsters?
He'd be deep on the conspiracy thing. And Antarctica was the key to like a lot of their stuff.
Think about that. That costs money to have those people
Who's
stationed
funding
there.
this?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, he was saying these governments are like predates any of this stuff. They have old money.
But here's the thing. The only reason you would pay for somebody to not go there is because
You knew something was there.
dangerous.
Yes.
So if it was because we didn't want you to die, they would probably just be like, you can't go here,
Right.
as opposed to shooting at you.
Yeah.
That means that there's
But
something
hasn't
there.
been confirmed though. Like,
None of this stuff is like it's hard to quantify.
Why would
Somebody
they be?
gotta go.
But why would they be protecting it if there was nothing there?
That's what I'm saying.
there
There's
would
for
be.
sure
Weird.
something
That's
there.
the thing.
If people are shooting at you, if you're on your way there, then there's something there.
Somebody call
Absolutely.
Indiana Jones. I want to know.
Indiana Jones, was he ever in snow? I don't think he was ever in
No,
snow.
not that
He
I
We should
frequented hot
backpack
places.
to Antarctica.
No.
Backpack to Antarctica.
We got to
trying to-
find out what's
trying to
over
think of
there.
something.
Like, we can just
There's
walk.
water though. That's the whole
So
thing.
I'm surrounded by water. They can't really backpack.
You could just float on Doughboy there.
How do we get there?
Go.
So wait, so airplanes don't fly?
Dock before.
Hey, so airplanes don't fly there
You
either?
can't. There's no airports. You can only get there by ship.
But this,
That's what he was saying.
why
You
is
gotta-
this? Why is this not bothering more people?
Because people don't
It's
care.
bothering me now.
It's super bothering me.
People got bills that are due.
Yeah, I was just saying,
you don't
how
have
you
time
gonna-
to think about
You can't
Antarctica.
invest money and time into something like that. Like, what you gonna do?
Your rent
You want to
due.
know? Yeah.
But that's why it's a conspiracy theory, because you can on the
Ice
side.
monsters doesn't get your antenna
No.
up.
I got student loans. That's more of a problem than ice monsters.
I didn't
right
know
now.
about the ice monster.
Ice monsters, dog.
I did not know
That's-
about the ice monster.
I imagine them from the first. Remember the first Thor?
Yeah.
That's what I imagine they look like. When the dude was talking about it, I was like,
I feel like if they hit you, it'll hurt.
Why would you get hit by an ice monster though?
Why would an ice monster exist?
Well, you won't ever have to worry about that. You
That
won't
was,
be invited.
that was a very genuine analysis of an ice monster. I think if they'd bite you, it would hurt.
It's just cold.
Yeah, probably. It's cold.
You know when you get hit with something cold, it hurt more.
But if they are there, those ships are probably there to probably keep them at bay too, to keep them. From,
I imagine so.
Damn, them ice monsters?
Yeah.
Oh, because they say that there could be like some water monsters too.
yeah, they say
There's water monsters?
Man, the ocean is
Ocean is
so
scarier than
undeveloped.
anything. Look
There's so
up-
much more that
Look up the animated graph, because they show a human and then they go down and then they go down and they show you like the wide span of everything that we haven't, and it's really creepy because they just keep going down.
I've said this before. I believe there's dinosaurs down there.
Same.
It's not about that. So this is the, I guess we should change the name for legal purposes. This is the Conspiracy Castle
There was one conspiracy theory
corner.
Oh yeah, this one is the conspiracy 90-degree point.
The conspiracy
Because that corner
area. This is the conspiracy part. This is the conspiracy.
This is where
We don't plan
the
these
walls
things
meet
ahead of
and we talk about conspiracies.
This is the corner of conspiracies.
It's the avenue of corner and conspiracy.
Conspiracy Avenue. We'll go with that. We'll change it up every time. We'll land on something. We'll give you guys something to talk about in the comments. This one is pretty creepy actually. So, have you ever heard of the Zodiac killer?
Yeah, they did a whole movie about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was one they never caught, right?
Yeah, never caught him. He always left like sort of like cryptic messages. I think he told sent letters to the police station explaining like who he was and all that stuff. But you basically had to crack the code, right? And they never did. So
Be a Sherlock Holmes for that one.
for real, I'm trying to find it.
Either that or Tom Hanks.
Okay, so there's this guy named Josef Mengele. I think that's what he's how you pronounce his name. But so this guy was a scientist in the Holocaust. So he was on the German side. So he's been a supervillain.
Yeah.
Experimenting on humans, all this stuff. Supposedly he died, and that was the end of it. But people have apparently seen sightings of him since. And the conspiracy is that not only was this guy, he's still alive as a fucking Nazi war criminal, the CIA kept him, and he was actually not only the Zodiac killer, but he was also the Boston Strangler and the Anthrax mailer of 2001. Did you hear about that? So there a lot of people think that this was all three of these killers who were never caught were all this dude. And
You have to be a psychopath to have that many personalities to create that many different killers.
he was a Nazi experimenting on people. So
Touche.
that's why
That's
a lot of people were just like, yeah, I can see that. So yeah, it basically insinuates that this guy, aka the Auschwitz doctor, behind a whole bunch of terrible Nazi experiments.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
He didn't die as a refugee in Argentina, like people say. But he lived a long life as a CIA employee. And people are even saying that he could have been kept alive and healthy that long due to cannibalism. There's a lot of conspiracies, especially I think the Queen of England or somebody. Like there's somebody in royalty in overseas that's like 90-something years old and just still like in power, great shape.
Wait,
and
cannibalism?
People are saying that cannibalism, and you hear almost like leaks of that in pop culture. They say that like certain people eat fetuses or like because stem cells regenerate you. So people are saying that these people in high power use cannibalism in.
Why not just make some stem cell jelly beans? Why I gotta have it in the form of a heart or a fetus?
I don't know. Maybe they do. Like maybe there's like the same way that they use placentas and cook all this weird shit with it. Maybe there's like some
make my shit in the gummy
a
form.
fetus lasagna or something like that.
No, flag on the fucking plate.
Oh, but jellyfish was cool.
No, I said jelly beans.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Nobody wants to eat a fucking fetus over jelly beans. Give me the jelly beans. Did you see Book of Eli? You see what happens when you eat too much human flesh? You talking about people shaking?
No, is that the Denzel movie?
Yeah, the Denzel movie.
With the book?
With the book. Oh, shut the fuck up. No. I walked right into that one. Face first. Glass door.
I never saw it. Was it a good movie?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I didn't know how I felt about Denzel Washington as like a blade.
Nah, he was good. Did you see Equalizer? Did you see him in Equalizer?
Was that with Bruce Willis?
Nah, Equalizer was the one like he was like
oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, fuck, the first one was fire.
I don't be seeing movies.
You don't.
You should give me a recommendation every.
I will do that.
I'm gonna see Book of Eli and come back with a Book of Eli joke.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix right now. It is. It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah, check that out, man.
I'm gonna watch that today, actually.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Why not? But yeah, the theory is actually a little bit dumb. It's a little theory. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. But there have been a bunch of ones like this. Like, they say that the original Jack the Ripper, who I guess was the first serial killer, is still kind of around and stabbing people still.
I don't see how people be living, like, they expect people living that long, like, and even passing it down. Like, you pass down family heirlooms and rituals, but, like, who's sitting somebody down like, listen, I've killed over 600 people, and I want to tell you how, because I want you to keep the family name strong. All right?
I think that's a thing with killers.
Really?
I think they want to, a part of them wants to get caught for the recognition.
Yeah, they say that about serial killers. A part of them want to get caught.
And I think that's also why, the other thing I never understood was, how people, like, confess to it and they didn't do it?
Yeah.
And they're in jail, like as a copycat, just for some type of notoriety?
That notoriety they had a claim, I guess.
You didn't even kill him? You just wanted to be known as the Strangler? Like, yeah, that was me. It's like, it wasn't.
It wasn't. And they wanted it until they get in jail and they had to be a popular gin pop. And they realized that niggas really taking people booty holes out here. I just thought it was going to be
myself in this.
Yeah.
I killed no one.
I killed no one. Worked at the post office for 46 years. My wife's name was Beverly.
I don't think serial killers get raped in jail, because I think that if you're a serial killer, aren't you put in the fucking Hannibal Lecter mask and like
it depends
by yourself?
It depends on like, I guess, the severity of the crimes. Because if you were like a serial killer, you just like stab people. I think you could still be put in general pop. But if you're a serial killer and you were like, defacing your victims and skinning them and like just completely mutilating them,
you ain't on the
you're not. You probably be on
working
lockdown
out and shit.
Yeah, you're locked down. That's 23 hours a day. You only get 1 hour out for either rec or like shower. And they don't even get to shower every day. They get to shower maybe like twice a week or something like that. So it's crazy. I hate working in the jail.
Well, if anybody deserved to be in jail, it was this nigga, Dr. Josef Mengele. You see, he was someone took a photo of him in 2001, and he doesn't look like was born in 1911 or whatever the hell it was.
He looks like he's missing a neck. I should know because I just found mine. I do. Yeah.
You got it?
I bought some ties recently. A couple scarves.
What? I just picture you going to sleep with one of those like neck braces or something. It'll stretch something. It'll stretch.
I got the Chinese finger trap. They got one for the neck.
You can't turn around and be like, what'd you say?
You're like,
you gotta turn like Batman.
You crazy as hell, boy. You crazy as hell.
This nigga needs that for sure.
Absolutely.
Look, this nigga was pictured at a November 2001 Brotherhood of Aryan Nations / KKK Bush fundraiser in Florida. Of course, Florida would host that. He had a trademark Zodiac killer hooded robe and wristwatch, and he had anthrax sores on his hand.
That anthrax thing was scary as hell, but it also helped me with my bills because I wasn't opening nothing.
Hilarious.
People were like, "Did you receive our third letter?" I'm like, bitch, I ain't opening no mail right now.
If the anthrax story wasn't so outdated, that'd be a great joke on stage. That's nuts.
You're sitting around sending cocaine in packages. I can't take no chances to open this shit. I gotta take a pee test tomorrow.
I remember being freaked out by that.
Yeah, man, everybody was.
I never got mail, so I was like a kid.
I didn't get a lot. I mean, I was about to graduate high school in 2001, so
Imagine if Amazon scare though. That would have everybody up in arms.
You see that blue tape for Amazon, you rip it right into that box right there. But that is a scary thought for people to start doing shit with Amazon boxes.
Yeah, I hope no crazy people are getting ideas from this.
Why did you say shit?
Amazon?
That's what. Here's the thing, though. I will never open a box unless I know I paid for it. If I see a random box behind and I go on my app, like I ain't order shit, family ain't order shit. Okay, cool.
So you might be what? You think it might be a bomb or something?
I never know, man. This guy, I remember this dude sent me a package. He owns his hair company, and he sent me a package full of stuff, and I didn't remember talking to him. So I went to the company's Instagram page. I'm like, yo, I received a package from you guys, trying to figure out how you got my email. How you got my address. It was like, you gave it to him. I was like, I don't give you nothing. It's like, we talked about it. I was like, we didn't talk about nothing because this is the entire thread. But I had talked to the owner on his direct page and forgot. Because it had been like 2 months. You know, people hit me up all the time, like, can I send you something? So I had forgot. I was ready to square. Hey, bro, where you at?
That might be some of the most embarrassing moments. When you work real hard for something, and then they just be like, no, you did. You're like,
yeah. And he said,
okay.
Like, go to this page. I went to that page and saw it. I had to send him a video message. Hey, man, listen, I just want to apologize for stuff I said about your mother and kids.
What? You took it there?
I go off. You know I go to 0 to 100. How do I will eat your kids in front of you?
Why'd you? For an Amazon package?
Hey, man.
How did it get there?
I don't know how he had my address. I didn't like that.
Where his kids come from?
Hey, man, you got kids? I'll eat your kids. I heard Mike Tyson say that to somebody.
I'll eat your kids. That's a threat.
Yeah.
That is a threat.
That is, man.
You should probably chill out on that kind of shit. It was just Amazon. Like, you know why people don't play that threat? Was that a threat? That's the scariest thing.
Nah. Kids is fine. If I would have threatened a dog and it was a white person, then I would have been locked up. I'd be doing this podcast from inside the jail.
I just got your phone. Hey, we talking about Patrick Cloud? You wait a second.
Hey.
And I'm Tahir Moore's
is this thing on? So Tahir, how did you get that phone in there?
Our beats ain't linked up when we singing.
I gotta go. They said lights out, man. Y'all be easy.
Well, it's locked down, so it's been another episode of Damn Internet You Scary.
That's all bad.
But But that was Conspiracy Avenue. The thought that this guy could have gone from we're working on it. The thought that this guy could have gone from the Holocaust to 3 other American history these tragedies. Like this guy might be Satan.
Yeah,
He might be Satan.
He's an offspring of Satan.
I mean, shit, he looks like it. But that old white villainous look. He's sitting at the table like this. He don't want no problems with niggas like that.
Hello, I kill for a living.
That might have been how he
like
talks.
a Pinot Noir. Like, sir, I just
Pinot Noir.
just saying good evening.
But we'd like to thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Damn Internet, You Scary. Hit us up. We're probably going to be dropping extra episodes on the Patreon, so check that out. Check out our YouTube channel, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on everything. This has been another episode. I'm Patrick Cloud.
And I'm Tahir Moore. We'll see you next week. Holla.